What would you do for a world record, and what would you do if you did get a world record? Well, for a world record, I would practice and learn new algorithms, and if I got a world record, I would probably laugh like I do when I get most of my competition PBs. How many chicken flavored chips could you eat in 9.hg61 seconds? I don't know. I've never eaten chicken flavored chips, but if you give me this opportunity, I will attempt at eating at least 3 of them. Why don't you love the Moyu Elong? Why isn't it your main? To be honest, I find this question kind of rude because not everybody likes the same cubes that you do. And funny story actually, I was trying to sell my Elong version 1 black at Nationals for $5 and I could not find anybody to buy it. And since Nationals, I've had many people offer to take it off my hands since they stopped making them. But I don't care for the Oolong. I mean, I get good times with it, and it could be my main, but I don't appreciate the corner twists, and I like Zanchi's just that much better. If you lost all of your puzzles except 3, which 3 puzzles would they be? I have no answer for this question because I don't plan on losing my puzzles, and that would mean that I purposely lost all but 3 of my puzzles, being that I would get to pick them. Would you buy the Moyu 13x13? Probably not. It's kind of expensive and I don't really need it. Besides the Terramix, did you lose any cube pieces? Yes, I've lost quite a number of cube pieces. I've broken some pieces, and this is why I'm so thankful for the Cubicle selling replacement parts now. Are you going to Nationals 2015? And if so, where is it going to be? I get this question a lot, and I think you guys think that I know something about the WCA that you do not. I have no idea where it's going to be, and they are looking at places, but they aren't telling people where they're looking at. And I'll probably be there. I mean, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. If you had a pet ostrich, what would its pet squirrel's name be? I find this to be an interesting question because if a pet ostrich of mine was so far mentally developed enough to have a pet squirrel, I think it would be able to name it itself. But, you know, probably like Harold or something. If Timmy had 2 apples and gave away 3, calculate the sun's mass. Google could probably tell you the sun's mass easier than me, and I'm not going to Google this for you. And if he had 2 apples and gave away 3, he would have -1 apples. That doesn't even make any sense. When was the first time you met another cuber? The first time I met another cuber was at my first competition. I mean, I met people that knew how to solve the cube, but they weren't like real cubers like I met at Cubetcha 2011. Would you ever go to a competition in Atlanta? I probably would, given that they had Pyraminx, Skewb, and Clock. But it is quite a far drive, so I would need someone to go with, kind of a thing. Do you go on Twist the Web often? I do, actually, pretty much every day. So if you're on Twist the Web and you see me on there, feel free to say hi and add me as a friend so you can see when I'm online other times. Which cuber do you look up to the most? This is an interesting question I get every once in a while, and I actually don't really look up to cubers in the way of like they are awesome, because everybody is just a person in the grand scheme of things. I do look up to people in the sense of like his last layer is quite fast, or he comes up with a lot of really good algorithms, but I never really look up to people in the way that I think you're asking, so yeah, no one really. Do you like me? See, I don't have any reason not to like you, so yes I do. I like everybody. What do you do when your house blows up and your cubes turn into a giant monster and eats your family? I find this to be a confusing question because it says when your house, what do you do when, and that says like past tense that it has happened in the past like multiple times. And yeah, I mean, if that did ever happen, I would probably like eat a lot more cake than I do now, but you know, it's hard to say. I mean, that doesn't sound like it would ever happen, so I'm not too worried about it. What's your rice pudding recipe? I'm not sure who told you I had a rice pudding recipe, but that person needs to have a talking to because they weren't supposed to tell anybody. Do you play any sports? I go skiing pretty much every day when there's snow on the ground, and even when there's not snow on the ground, still go skiing. I don't do that like in a league or anything. I mostly just do it for fun. I compete every once in a while. How do you set up a Zhanchi perfectly? And are you getting the Shengshao Aurora 2x2? The first question is one you need to ask Victor Sinan because he's the only person that knows how to set up a Zhanchi perfectly. No other one will ever be as good as his. And as for the second question, no, I just don't care enough about 2x2 to spend $4 on one. Yeah, I've heard it's not that great, so I'm not going to get it. Those are all the questions I'm going to answer for today. You guys left a lot of great questions on this video, so I'd like a lot on this one as well. Sorry this is about a week late. I had a competition to run last weekend, so I was pretty busy on that Wednesday. It was the day before my birthday that day, so I was pretty busy like doing stuff, so I didn't have to do it the next day. And then this week I've just been so busy, so I'm getting it out like a week and a half late. I'm sorry, but you know, it's still coming out. That is it. If you want me to answer your question or comment, leave it down below, and I'll maybe get to it next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.